Hey, Smiley Boos. Hey, y'all. I just want to come in with some special guests of mine. I wanted to let them expound on how to stay married, how to keep God in the center of your relationships, how to stay married. I believe they'll probably tell you how long they've been married, but how to keep God first in your life, how to help your relationship grow. And they're going to give you guys, some advice. They're going to just expound on some things with you guys and just encourage the married couples to keep staying in love, keep communicating, and just have a long lasting, successful marriage and relationship with Christ as the head of your relationship. So I have my mom and my dad, Roger and Wanda. And so they're going to expound, y'all, and they're going to talk about, I'm going to ask them some questions, and then they're going to expound on their own throughout the questions, okay? So I'm going to be probably out of the, out of it, a little bit out of the picture, but you're going to hear my voice, okay? All right, y'all. So here they are. I want to know, for my audience, you guys, I want to know, how long have you guys been married?
26 years.
Yes, 26 years. Yes. What's you guys' anniversary date?
September 12th, 1992.
That's it. All right. Where did you guys, tell my audience, how did you guys meet?
Well, we met at Wilson Memorial Hospital, and we both were working uh, third shift. And I was security officer, and she was a nursing assistant.
Yeah. And so how did y'all little story go? Who introduced who to who, and how did you guys expand on y'all? How did y'all, click, or how did you guys know you were the one for each other?
Well, as I did my rounds, and we were always running to each other, and we would run into each other and talk as I walked the floors, and she would walk doing her nursing assistant duties. And I just took the nerve to ask her out one day, one night, and she didn't accept it at first, but later
She trying to play
on,
hard to get once you're around.
right. And then later on, I asked her again, and then she said okay, and that's how it started from there. And we've been together ever since.
You guys, I want you guys to give my audience 5 top things that will help a successful relationship or a successful married relationship. Those 5 things. Y'all can split it among each other or talk about it, or what's y'all top 5, or y'all can do each. Rod, you do 5, and mine, you do 5. However you want to do it.
Well, we'll just come up with 5 altogether.
Okay.
The first thing is, to a man that finds a wife, find a good thing. That means the woman don't look for the man looks for the woman. And then you don't be unequally yoked with somebody that's not compatible to you. First of all, you got to find somebody that's somewhat compatible to you in order to have any type of relationship. Because when you have somebody that opposite than what you are, it's gonna be you're gonna really run into some obstacles. But first, you gotta love God. That's the first thing. Then second of all, then you gotta love each other. And we dated for about 2 years. We've been married 26 years, but we dated for 2 years before we even The first year was just to get to know one another, and then the second year, we started doing things together. Going places and sharing our lives together. But we kind of like took our time. We didn't like rush into it. We just took our time and we prayed about it, and and it's like the Lord just He brought it all together. He brought it together, and I thank God for my husband. The Lord couldn't have gave me no better person than Roger Foreman. And I thank God every day for him. He's patient, he's kind, he's loving, and he loves God. And most of all, he loves me. And it's good to get somebody. You're not gonna find no perfect person. And I'm not saying we don't have our little, dispatch or whatever. But you know what I learned? You don't let the sun go down on your wrath. You try to resolve it before going to bed. And and it doesn't matter who did what, where was your fault, where was his fault. But just to bring peace in, it doesn't matter who the first one to do it. Just say, forgive me, I'm sorry, to bring that unity back together. And not like I said, I thank God for him. He's a hard working man. And he, like I said, and that's good too. A man that works and he believe in taking care of his family. And that's who Roger Farmer is. He loves God. He's a man of God, a man of wisdom, and the second of all, he loves his family. So I thank God for the God in the man. Farmer, you have anything you want to say, man?
Well, one of the things you got to learn to listen to each other. It ain't all one way. You got to work as a team. Um, it ain't man. It ain't all a woman when it comes to taking care of home. It ain't all the woman's work to pick up trash or fix a bed or wash dishes. You work together as a team, and so you share the workload. Workload, and then men, when you take care of your wives, you just you work. You make sure you the first partaker of going to work and take care of your family. Your wife is there as a helpmate, not to be the one to be the breadwinner. You the breadwinner as a man, and that's one of the things a man that you do. Um, and having God, and make sure you got God in your life, in a spiritual life. I mean, it ain't going. It's not a easy. It's not marriage. Marriage is not easy, but if you work together and love each other, you can make it. You can make it. I mean, for you for you young people that's married, you know, um, you got to stick. You can't just jump up and leave and cause you don't got it so upset with each other, and just thinking you just gonna take off and say, well, I don't want to be in this marriage no more. Marriage is a marriage for till the end. It ain't no getting married a year, 3-4 months, and then you just want to take off and leave your wife or leave your husband. It's a work in progress. And like you said, if you really love each other, you stick together. Don't just take off and leave.
That's right. You better go in that other room and it right wrong.
That's right. And that's what it's about. And people do that, you won't see so much so much separation and divorce in marriages. And the young ladies don't need to be left without a man in their life to help raise their boys and help raise their girls. They don't need to be raising children by themselves. That's what men are for. Real men stick there and take care of their families, and don't leave that woman hanging like that, and she got to struggle. She didn't make them children by herself, so you make sure you stay there with her, men folk. So as a man, I raised 2 kids. They weren't my own, but Hey, they mine. And when I marry my wife, I'm dedicated to taking care of my kids. And my two ones when I first met my wife, I'm dedicated to taking care of them. They just like my own son in there. They my blood too. And I took care of them from the time they're 3, 4 years old, and they're grown now. But that's what real men do. You take up and do what you supposed to do. You married the mom. You make sure you take care of the kids too. Ain't no separation.
I turned out all right, didn't I, Ryan?
Turned all right, real good.
With God's help. And another thing, I don't have to say or to anyone and say, well, my husband is the head of the house. He's the man of the house. He knows his role, and I know my role. And we don't have to constantly remind each other who got what role. And as he forestated, if you see something need to be done in your home, you don't have to, oh, that's your job, or that's your job. No, you are together. If that you see the trash need emptying out, take out the trash. I don't care. You're not the man. If you're a working woman and you're a helpmate and you see a bill that need to be paid, then help your husband. Don't burden your husband with going out and getting stuff that you can't afford to get. Make sure number one is your bills are taken care of. Then if it's in extra, then you go out and you get your nails done. Then you get your hair done. But your main priority is first of all, pay your tithes. That's one thing. You give God his portion. Then afterward, you take care of your home front. Make sure your bills are paid. If you got small children, then you don't have money to mess around. If you got small children, take care of them babies. Because they didn't ask to be here. They didn't volunteer to be here. You made those babies. So it's your responsibility, you and your husband, or you should be married, but you and your husband, that's your responsibility in taking care of those babies until they're old enough to take care of themselves. If you're not married and you living together, then what you need to do with that, if you're good enough to live with and lay with, you're good enough to be married. And I say pray over it. Pray over it. If you're not going to marry that man or you're not going to marry that woman, then you need to get out of that relationship because you're wasting time with it. But if that woman's good enough for you to have your babies and she's good enough to lay with you, then she's good enough for you to marry her. And that's what I say with that. Take care of your own. Don't go out there because if you don't take care of your own, then it's gonna come up again where maybe you're gonna get involved with somebody else that got a child, and then you're gonna have to some way or another help contribute in taking care of that child. So why not take care of your own? That should be your first priority. Take care of your own children. But you gotta pray always, always, in all things. Acknowledge God, and He will direct your path. And you shouldn't do anything that your husband don't know about it. And your husband shouldn't do anything that your wife don't know about it. You should come together and you should have an open relationship. Communication is a very, very important part of marriage. You gotta learn how to talk to one another. If something your husband do that you don't like, then you don't bawl him out in front of his friends. You don't bawl him out in front of people. There's a time for all things. When you and your husband have time together, talk about these things. So, baby, I don't like such thing. Then he probably say, if you talk in meekness and in love, he probably say, well, okay, baby, I try not to do that no more. But if you got one of them cocky men, you gonna have one of those dominant men. Well, I tell you what to do. No, that ain't gonna work. That's gonna and vice versa with the women's. Then that's gonna drive y'all apart. But you gotta learn how to honor yourself even with each other. You humble yourself to God above all, but you got to humble yourself to each other too, and learn how to respect each other as a person. Even though you're married, but you still got to respect each other as a person. And that's how life goes. Because, I don't care. Life is not perfect and it's not always fair. But I'm telling you, like, you can make it better if you put God first and you work together. It can be a good thing. It can be a great thing. But when you pull it one way and he pull it another way, they ain't working like that. You gotta come together. God, how can two walk together except they agree? And you gotta be in agreeable. And he don't have to tell me I'm the queen or I'm the lady of the house. I know my role. I stays in my lane. And he stays in his lane. And we have conflict, we get in our private, we do in our private quarters and we talk over things. We discuss things. And that's what it's all about. Discussing things, come together. I got faults, he got faults. But you know what? Love is a key. Hide a multitude of sins and a multitude of faults. I'm telling you, it works. I'm a witness. It works.
Now, tell the people, you guys, how do you guys overcome like friends and family that try to intervene in your relationship, in your marriage? How do you deal with that aspect of things?
Well, first of all we don't listen to them friends. We listen to each other. People gonna get when we first got married. People didn't believe this marriage gonna work. But you know, but we listen to each other. We talk to each other. We talk to each other like we talk and make sure that we talk about any problems that came between us. Cause friends can give you the wrong answers,
Mm-hmm.
and how you separated,
That's right. And family too.
family
Mm-hmm.
too.
Main ones.
If I had listened to family or
Mm-hmm.
friends, you know, I wouldn't be here right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing you do. You listen to each other, and you love each other. The family and friends, they're not gonna break you apart. Cause you got God and you got love between each other.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, when you marry that person, you don't marry the whole world, and you don't marry the whole entire family. You marry that person. So it's good to hear, and it's good not to hear. But then you got to look at their lives when they're talking to you and they telling you stuff that you shouldn't be doing in your marriage. Look at their marriage. Analyze their marriage. Are they with their husband? Are they with their wife? How many times they been married? Has it been a success? And then from that conclusion, then you will get your answer. How can you tell me anything about my marriage when you don't have a marriage? When you may have been married 4 and 5 times, 3 and 4, 5 times, there's something wrong with that picture. I can give you maybe twice, then married. That's a good thing. But I've known people married 3, 4, and 5 times. When you mean it takes that many times to get it right, okay, then that's when, after the second time, you need to examine yourself and see what is really wrong. Because if you continue to get married and making the same mistakes, you haven't learned anything. See what I'm saying? You haven't learned anything. Because if you've been married before and maybe you divorced or you separate, that was your learning experience. So, okay, you goes into your second marriage. Then you ought not do what you did in the first marriage, because that what messed you up the first time around. So you ought to do something different. So, but you don't invite any and everybody in your marriage. Matter of fact, our union is between me and Farmer. That's our union together as husband and wife. not the whole world, and not his family, not even my children, not even our children. But our union is between each other and God. That's who our union is between. So, you got to learn how, sometimes it's hard to say, but sometimes you just got to have a deaf ear
Block them people out.
to deaf ear to those that trying to involve themselves into your marriage, especially when you don't ask their opinion.
Right.
And if they can't say to you, well, sister, I'm going to pray for you and pray that God will work things out for you. But then they come and tell you what they would do. Well, you're not them, and they're not you. Farmer is not your man. Farmer is nothing like your man. So therefore, you cannot tell me maybe what works for you in your marriage. Maybe it works for you, but it may not work in my marriage because farmer may be different from what you have.
Person.
So therefore, everything don't work for everybody. And if it don't fit, ain't no need of forcing it. So you gotta pray. That is the most essential part of marriage. They're keeping things together. Cause we human, we're gonna make mistakes. But if you really got God in you and the Spirit of Christ in you, you're gonna learn you're gonna forgive. And not only forgive, but God will show you how to love that man, how to love that woman. As you continue your union with each other, you'll know when you hear constructive, as they say, constructive criticism. But no, it's not no such thing as that. When it comes to marriage, that's one thing that you gotta really pray. Even when you go for I go to marriage counselor. Marriage counselor don't know everything. If they ain't been walked in your shoes, how can they know where you going or where you been? How can they know anything about your marriage? I don't care how many books you read. Self-experience is the best teacher. If you haven't been married, you haven't gone through things in your marriage, how you gonna tell? A book can't teach you that. They can teach you maybe the basic or what research, and they'll talk to different couples. But until you been in it, until you experience it for yourself, then you know. But God, He's the one that can give you the best answer and the intuition that you need to have a great and a successful marriage. A lot of people keep things undercover. They don't say anything. They in the house, in the church, and they're hurting. And they're sitting there and they're hurting, and they don't know what to do. And their husband and their wife are living two separate lives. I feel people living two separate lives. They have a union together, but they have two separate lives. But that's no way to live. That's a miserable life. That's a miserable life.
That's kind of like your roommates, but you're married with your roommates.
If you want to have any kind of happiness in your marriage, get to know that person. Respect him, and he respect you. And when y'all learn to respect each other, learn to love one another, keep people out of your business, put God first, pray for one another. I pray for my husband every night. And I'm sure he pray for me. Because you know why we pray for each other? Because I got faults and he got faults. And we pray for one another that our fault don't get so bad and collide that we gone about our business. That's no way to live. That's no way to live. And you talking about death, and the Bible says to death do his part. So to death do his part. Well, it's like a job. As you go on that job, you get better and better. First time when you get in there, you might not know it so good. You're trying to kind of feel your way. But when you start getting that job, after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, even in that, you might not master all, but you'll get so it's tolerable, where you can tolerate one another, where you can work together. It won't be so bad like when you first started.
So you know how to deal with one another. You know what push each other buttons.
That's right. If I know what provoke farmer,
you want to do
why wouldn't I pushing the button?
Mm-hmm.
And he know what pushes my button. And he know what make me angry. Why will you continue provoking me? No, you don't do stuff like that. You respect me and I respect you. We both are person. We come from different backgrounds. He come from a different background. I come from a different background. We've been taught different by different parents, you know. But you know what? You got to learn how to keep people out of your business. And if you got a problem, take it to the Lord in prayer. And take it to each other and talk it over.
Don't go tell Sally Sue and them.
Cause you know what,
Sally Sue talking about you.
Exactly. Sally and Sue, you know what they're doing? Spreading your business all the way around town. And you wondering why so-and-so
Know your business.
know your business. You ain't told them nothing. But you got to realize, too, you say you got a friend, but you really got to realize they got a friend. Mm-hmm. And that friend got a friend. And that friend got a friend. And it goes on and on and on and on. And sometimes they may not call the name, but it'll get around. And next thing you know, you done heard it. Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful. And you got to learn how to zip it. Mm-hmm. Zip it. You got to learn how to zip it. Because if you don't, if you tell everything, what do you have left? If you tell everything, then they know just as much as you know. So you got to learn how to keep some things within your walls, within your house. That's how you got to do that.
Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. Good stuff. Any final words, Ron? Any final words for the couples out there?
No, I'm about to say pretty much what all I can say about that. You know, so yeah, I'm pretty much what I said. You know, just go by that and learn. Like I said, learn to love each other and keep God first. Pray for each other. You know, and keep people out of your marriage. Keep family out of your marriage. And like I said, keep God first. You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. So yeah, that's
and if there are couples that out there that's going together or they're living together, the best thing is to dissolve that. And what you should do is get married and do it the right way. If you do it the right way, I promise you, it'll be all right. It will work out. If you put God first and you pray for one another and you do right by each other, it will work out and you see great success. So may God bless you. May heaven smile upon you is our prayer.
I'm gonna say one more thing for these women folks. For these women, you know, when you with a man and you dating that man for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and you giving him what he want every day, you feeding him and whatever, taking care of him, and he ain't trying to marry you. He ain't trying to marry you because he got what he want. Everything right there. Everything right there.
Why buy the cow when you getting the milk free?
Right. And so if he right there, he getting everything he want, and you know, I'll tell you one thing, when you dating a man or whatever, and you hold back you hold back that cookie, you see how long that man gonna be with you. How long he gonna be with you? Cause some men are there for one thing only, what they can get out of it. And then when it's time to really push him to get married, then he don't want to get married. He ready to get gone down the highway, cause he pretty much worn out his welcome. And he don't got what he want, and he going to the next victim. I'm gonna say the next victim, but you know, you can't just women folks stop being with these men 10, 11, 15 years or more like that, and he don't never ask you to marry you. You know, something wrong with that picture.
Yeah, you don't put no ring on it.
Put a ring on it, and you know, you don't have children by him, and you know everything. You know, it's time to let that go, because or he need to get down on his knees and say he ready to get married. It don't take that long to make your mind up what you're gonna do. And That's all I got to say about
And
it.
to comment on what Farmer said, women have standards. Set a standard for yourself. No low standard. Don't just be so easy. Don't be so desperate. Don't be so aggressive. But take your time. Let the man go after you. Don't seem like you desperate. Don't seem like you just got to have a man. You weren't born with a man. So you don't have to have a man. Wait on, Lord. You said, well, Lord, you don't seem like, Lord, I need help the Lord out. No, God don't need no help. When it's the right time, he fixing that man up for just right for you, and he fixing that woman up just right for you. When it's time, y'all will meet in y'all proper place. But don't, women, to the meantime, keep yourself holy. Keep yourself clean. Keep yourself together. Set your standards. Set your standards. And you set your standards up, I guarantee you. He said, that's the one I want. Because she got some good stuff. She got good quality. You are precious women. You are a jewel, and you're not just anything. You're precious, and you're jewel. You're a woman of excellency, and so you gotta act accordingly. And that excellent attitude. That's all I have to say about that.
That's your final thoughts?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, you guys,
Enjoy y'all.
and they have enjoyed y'all. We thank y'all so much. We thank y'all so much for watching this video, y'all. Thank y'all so much for all your comments, your subscriptions. I appreciate all the love that I'm getting. I appreciate y'all motivating me to be a better person, to keep these videos coming. I thank y'all for just inspiring me to be a better me. So without y'all, this channel wouldn't be what it is. And I appreciate y'all so much. And y'all please like, comment, and subscribe and share this video with any and everyone you can. And y'all just comment down below any comments that you want to share, anything that you want to share with me as well. And I appreciate y'all so much. Smiley Boo is out. Love y'all. Bye.